What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building, and today, as y'all can see by the looks of the title and the screen, today I'm actually gonna be bringing y'all a very new, super rare lockdown defender build. So it's actually gonna be called a playmaking rebounder, but when it comes down to the build name, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you it's actually going to be made to a pure rebounder. So with this build, you're actually going to be able to get playmaking takeover, which is going to allow us to break ankles on this build, and it's going to be called a pure rebounder. So I would say that this is a catfish lockdown build. But before we get into the making, man, I just want to say thank y'all so much to everybody who decided to click on today's banger. But with that being said, man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. And anybody looking to join the RGF family, go ahead and turn on post notifications. But also be sure to go ahead and let's get 25 likes on this banger, y'all. I know that we can do it. I have faith that we can. The Rich Gang family is showing out and showing up every single day, and I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. All glory to God. But let's go ahead and get into the making of this video now. So first, go ahead and put this build under the power forward position, y'all. Gonna be a perfect build to make it under, and then when it comes down to the pie chart, pick the one split right down the middle with the finishing as well as the defensive. So the red and blue is gonna be the perfect pie chart that y'all want to go with. And then when it comes down to the physical profile, a lot of people like to choose between the first as well as the fourth one. But if you're looking to add strength, consider the second or even the third. I'm going to go with the fourth specifically because I want to be more well-rounded with that vertical. Now, let's go ahead and get into the badge count. Please be sure to follow along each and every stat as I am doing. So when it comes down to the finishing, we're actually going to be touching every single stat when it comes to this category. Here is going to be the numbers in order. You're going to go with 80, 64, 64, 82, and 51, y'all. Now, that's going to give us 9 finishing badges, which is actually going to be really solid when it comes down to this kind of rare build. Now, for now, we're going to go ahead and skip over the shooting. Do not worry too much about that. When it comes down to the pass accuracy, put this to a 66. Ball handle maxed out, and then put the post moves to a 68 for 11 playmaking badges. Now, when it comes down to the defense, go ahead and put the interior to a 76. Perimeter can only be a 69. Lateral quickness, max it out. And then when it comes down to the steal, go ahead and put this to a 70. Block is going to be a 78. Offensive rebound, 80, and then the defensive going to be an 83, y'all. Now, there are a couple of adjustments that we can actually make to this build. So, if you want to, you could go ahead and max out the offensive rebound instead of our steal or block. But with these extra attributes that we have left over remaining, you're going to want to go ahead and use these for the mid-range shot or the free throw. In my personal opinion, I would first go ahead and mess with my free throw, because if you're looking to use this build in any 5v5 mode, you're actually going to be able to take it, maxing out your free throw right here, because as you can see, we're going to have a 77 free throw. Go ahead and add boost. That is easily going to be in the 80s. Now, you could also go ahead and put it into the three-point shot, but as you can see, we're only going to be in the 50s, and I do not see it worth it. So something that I would really consider. You could go with the 62 mid-range to hit pretty consistent from mid-range if you know a jump shot as well as adding boost. You already know that everything that goes into it when adding to our shooting percentages. So if you want to go that route, go ahead and do it. But this is really a nice and solid build if you go ahead and max out the free throw. Now, body shape, you could go with barely or a build. Really going to be based off of your own preference. But then when it comes down to the height, y'all, we're actually going to go ahead and put this build to 6'8". I would go with 6'7", but it's going to be a little too small, especially for that build name. And then when it comes down to the weight, go ahead and put this to 219, y'all. Anything lower and anything higher is going to change the build name. I have tried it, tested it out myself, as well as with the help of my Rich Gang family supporters. But essentially, what you want to go ahead and do with the wingspan is leave it as it gives it to you. Now, you can make your own adjustments to it, but I feel like leaving it at the normal is what is going to be best because of that playmaking takeover. But then we also get the rim protecting if you want to pick that one, glass cleaning, and then we also are going to be able to get a another offensive in the slashing. I really like this one because we're going to be able to actually break ankles and get those animations out of this build. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the playmaking takeover. And as y'all can see, we have made the pure rebounder name, y'all. Super rare build. I have not seen this build too often. I have brought y'all the sharpshooting version of this build where it comes down with the sharpshooting takeover out of it, which is still going to be really solid. But now, let's go ahead and check out what this build is going to be looking like once we get to 99. So go ahead and add a +8 to our vertical. That's pretty much a 97, but you can go ahead and consider it a 99. Speed, 86. Acceleration, 84. But when it comes down to that close shot, going to be in the high 80s. And then when it comes to the standing dunk, same exact thing. Mid-range shot has the potential to hit the 70s. Then our free throw will definitely hit the 80s. Now, with playmaking takeover, if you add boost, go ahead and run with a teammate that has floor general and all the other boosts that you can add to it. You actually might have the potential to speed boost with this build. But when it comes down to the defensive, most of these stats are going to be hitting the 80s. So that is going to be a really solid upgrade to this build. But now, let's go ahead and get into the badges. So first, if you're going to go ahead and make the full free throw shooting version of this build, I would just go with ice and veins, but you could also go with catch and shoot, volume shooter, or even corner specialist. It really comes down to what you want to do. But y'all really should keep in mind that when it comes down to these rare builds, consider running with teammates that are going to be running badges that are going to give you boost to your shooting percentages, but also your main category stats, y'all. +4 to your offensive as well as the defensive is going to make a huge difference on these kind of builds that are going to be rare. Now, for the finishing badges, y'all definitely want to go with contact finisher and Hall of Fame, Lob City finisher on bronze, and then the last one, you can really consider between Showtime, Slithery finisher, fancy footwork, or even relentless finisher. Now, let's go ahead and get into the playmaking. We actually got 11 badges that we're going to be able to work with. So I'm going to go with gold quick first step as well as flashy passer, y'all. This is definitely going to be a huge help with getting that team takeover. Even though it's only on gold, flashy passer is still going to make a huge difference. Now, I'm also going to go ahead and throw on silver unpluckable on this build. Also going to go ahead and put on bronze bailout. And then from there, I'm also going to go ahead and put on silver downhill. I feel like that's going to make a nice difference on this build. Now, let's go ahead and get into the last category, which is actually going to be the defense. So, 21 badges to work with, the most out of any of the categories that we got. So, I'm going to go with defensive leader first. From there, I'm also going to go ahead and put on intimidator as well as rim protector. Now, rebound chaser, going to be a really solid badge to put on for this build, especially since you can go ahead and pick any of the takeovers that are going to help out with this. You could go with the rim protecting, or you could go with the glass cleaning. It really comes down to what you want to do, but these are going to be some really good options to consider. Now, with the last Hall of Fame badge, you could really go with anything based off of your own preference, but one that I would take off is going to be rebound chaser. You could go ahead and put on box, heart crusher, or even pogo stick. I really like it myself, but the bronze badge that I would go with is going to be between interceptor as well as chase down artist. Both of these are going to be really solid, but that's going to be the setup we go with: 9, 1, 11, and 21. Thank y'all so much to everybody who made it this far. Go ahead and comment down RGF if y'all did. But man, I just want y'all to know that I truly appreciate y'all. Another video dropping for y'all tomorrow, of course. 2K22 is around the corner, man. So y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new to the RGF family, and anyone looking to join, y'all already know what y'all need to do in order to qualify. Go ahead and hit that like button, but also go ahead and turn on post notifications. Let's go ahead and get our Noti gang wild now. Another video tomorrow, so I'm looking for y'all to be showing out like always. But man, with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.